People believe they are burned out because they have too much to do. That explanation feels obvious. The calendar is full, the inbox never clears, meetings expand, tasks multiply. So the assumption becomes simple: reduce the hours, reduce the stress. But that diagnosis misses something structural. The deeper issue is that order is optional here. When a day has no enforced sequence, everything competes equally. There are no protected first things. There are no clear entry points. There is no defined "before this, that must be true." In that environment, effort becomes the substitute for order. Weak admission criteria quietly shape the calendar. If nothing must be true before a meeting is scheduled, meetings multiply. If nothing must be defined before a task enters the week, tasks expand. The threshold for "we need a meeting" is low. The threshold for "we can decide without one" is undefined. So the day becomes porous. And when the day is porous, unresolved loops accumulate. Half-made decisions, ambiguous ownership, follow-ups without clear next actions, open questions that never fully close. They do not disappear. They sit in working memory. Even during rest, the mind scans for what it might have missed. This is not laziness. This is cognitive load. Then transitions begin to leak energy, ending one task, switching tools, switching people, switching stakes, reconstructing context. Each transition carries a startup cost. When transitions have no defaults, that cost is paid repeatedly. That is transition friction. Over time, it becomes a context-switching tax. Intensity rises in response. When order is missing, people move faster. They respond quicker. They stay more available. It feels responsible. It feels committed. But intensity is compensating for disorder. Imagine pushing a shopping cart with a jammed wheel. The harder you push, the louder it gets. The direction does not improve. The noise increases. Effort becomes visible. Progress becomes questionable. This is how burnout is misread. The nervous system does not experience this as ambition. It experiences it as constant negotiation. Every moment asks, "What matters most right now?" Every transition asks, "Where was I?" Every new request asks, "Should this enter my week?" When reflection has no protected place, those questions are answered reactively. Strategy can't form in noise. Reflection becomes optional. It becomes something you do if there is time. And there is never time because the environment rewards visible activity. Messages, meetings, quick tasks drift as the default. Over time, something more subtle happens. Plans begin to feel unstable. Midweek reinvention becomes normal. Trust in your own calendar declines. You start to believe the issue is motivation, or time, or discipline. But the issue is structural. The real decision is not "should I work less" or "should I care less." That framing creates resistance because ambition is part of your identity. You do not want to reduce standards. You want to reduce chaos. The decision is whether sequence will be treated as a constraint or a preference. When sequence is optional, intensity will always rush in to fill the gap. When thinking does not precede committing, obligations enter by default. When transitions lack defaults, every handoff becomes a mini-decision. When reflection has no protected place, strategy collapses into reactivity. Sequence as constraint, not preference. This does not mean rigidity. It means protecting order so the mind does not have to renegotiate basics all day. It means defining what must be true before something earns space. It means deciding first, then scheduling. It means giving reflection a guaranteed position so strategy has oxygen. Systems exist because human attention is expensive. Every "what do I do next" costs cognitive capital. A system reduces that renegotiation. It removes ambiguity. It prevents unresolved loops from multiplying. It limits what enters the day without meeting criteria. A system is not extra structure layered on top of work. It is the scaffolding that prevents work from becoming noise. When order is enforced, intensity becomes optional. Effort becomes directional. The nervous system calms not because the work disappears, but because the work stops competing in an undifferentiated pile. You are not burned out because you are weak. You are operating inside an environment where sequence has been treated as a preference. The shift is structural. Protect order. Let clarity precede intensity. That is where strategy regains its footing.